Hello friends, here we are to speak about March of the year 2020. It is a month that is extremely rich in astrological events, so let's see what is happening. I will firstly list some of the most important transits, then I will say something in general about the symbolism of this month, and finally, I will briefly comment on that what each zodiac sign can expect in March. So many people are waiting for that, what their sign can expect, so that will be at the end of this video. Full moon will be on the 9th of March in Virgo and new moon on the 24th of March in Aries. The most important transits are Sun is in Pisces until the 21st, then in Aries. Saturn enters Aquarius on the 23rd of March, which is a really extremely important thing for many of us. Then from the 6th of March, Venus is in Taurus. Then from the 10th, Mercury is direct again. From the 17th, Mercury is in Pisces. Then Mars is in Capricorn during whole month until the 31st. And between the 24th of March and 6th of April, Jupiter and Pluto make conjunction. This is another big thing. So we have two extremely important things, Saturn in Aquarius and then Jupiter and Pluto conjunction. So we are going to talk about those and other things here. On March 21st, when the Sun enters Aries sign, the astrological new year begins. More precisely, the spring equinox is on the 20th of March, but the 21st is taken as the day of the beginning of spring. So happy spring to you, happy new year. We said many times already happy new year. We had many new years, our Chinese and so on. So happy another new year to you. Our attention is also drawn to the moon this month, because it has very interesting and positive aspects. For example, on March the 9th, the full moon makes a positive aspect, makes trines to all of the planets that are in Capricorn. We spoke about planets in Capricorn a lot before, you know what I mean about. So March is with those positive aspects. First 10 days of March can be much easier for us. We can feel that in an easier way we are going through these turbulent times of big internal transformations. We can even feel in March that we are rewarded for all the hard things we did in the past. We made many very difficult changes, and we are ready now for something new, and we will feel it. And something that will help this process is also the fact that Saturn will leave the Capricorn sign for the first time since December 2017 and will temporarily enter Aquarius. This symbolically means that many of us have done what could be done, and that many of us are ready for a fresh start, for a new 30-year cycle in one area of life, and maybe for some new, extremely more positive attitude towards life, because if we survived all of those things that were happening with all of those planets in Capricorn, then we are wiser, and then maybe many of us respect life more than before. Let's say it like that. This transit of Saturn, of course, refers to all, but especially to Capricorn people and Aquarius people, I would say. And also, this will especially feel other people who have planets in cardinal signs that are except Capricorn, also Aries, Crab, and Libra. Saturn in Aquarius is opening new paradigm, and our attention will be drawn to the sign of Aquarius in the coming years. And we need to mention shortly what that means, but I mentioned it already in my January and February video. I mentioned that Aquarius symbolizes the masses or the collective, all the society, so the biggest groups of people. So Aquarius is the sign of collective, or we can say more precisely of collective consciousness. So something will happen on the collective level. In March, collective will improve their consciousness. It will widen the consciousness. Why would that happen? Well, it is interesting in March also, when Sun is in Pisces and it's meeting with Neptune in Pisces, collective feelings are also very strong. So those two things are playing somehow together. And collective will go through some important transformations because both collective signs are very strong. It is important to make the difference between them and to understand those different archetypes, even though they both speak about collective. Because of the Saturn in Aquarius and later on some other transits in Aquarius, it will be that collective knowledge, or the way how collective think or perceives the reality, or let's say collective conscious, will be emphasized. And on the other side, because of the Sun, Neptune and other planets in Pisces, collective feelings will also be emphasized. So we can say that collectively we are going through some very deep changes, and perhaps first we feel something and then we understand those feelings. We are ready to analyze them. For example, on March the 8th, Sun conjuncts Neptune, while both planets are in Pisces. And on that day are particularly strong collective feelings, which can be expressed in the world through the power of religious feelings, or through some mercy that needs to be seen, or through some humanitarian acts, or we can say through some fears. That can be also fears or feeling. But on the other hand, in the second part of March, especially with Saturn, when Saturn enters Aquarius on the 23rd of March, it is increased the knowledge and the consciousness of collective, so that people begin to better understand what is happening to them. They're simply more aware, and they discover some laws that inevitably impose and concern the further development of the collective. So that's why they don't let their feelings to be stronger than their mind or consciousness. Something like that. First feelings and then thinking of that, learning from that. Saturn himself will be in Aquarius briefly during the year 2020, from March 23rd until the 1st of July, and then will return briefly to Capricorn, but will definitely leave this sign from the December 18th this year. Then he will stay in Aquarius until March 2023. And of course, as we know, where Saturn settles is where our attention moves. Because this is the planet that brings very difficult tasks and it is impossible to ignore it. I will definitely be making more videos about transits of Saturn, so I'm not going into details now. But like any other transit of any other planet, and transit Saturn can be both positive and negative. If this energy will be properly integrated by the collective or individuals, we will have many benefits. But if these transits remain unaccepted or misunderstood, then it may cause distress of some kind. So we'll see how it will affect us. Every transit differently affects individuals and collective, So collective will have something to solve, and then we individually, each of us, different things. So let's say in a brief how the transit of Saturn will affect the collective, because this is very important, because Aquarius is the sign of collective. So, well, here the good news for you are that if this transit is well integrated by the collective, that can bring many, many useful changes in the political world, because politicians will definitely have to start thinking more about people. And then also there are going to be changes in the social area, maybe especially by some social institutions who are engaged in helping others, let's say materially or in any other way. Help those especially who are somehow in some unhappy, unstable position. The archetype of Aquarius is deeply rooted in the culture of Slavs, especially of Russia, and other also Asian nations. You know that I mentioned that in my videos. So we can expect significant changes for the better related to the functioning of society in those countries. So how do I know that those changes will be for better? Well, I know it simply because Saturn is in domicile in Aquarius as it is in Capricorn, and in Aquarius Saturn will be first when it enters, will support it with Jupiter, which is very promising. At the individual level, Saturn will bring to everyone new knowledge and new events, new happenings in the realm of life symbolized by Aquarius. And for every of us, as we said, it will be in a different part of our life, symbolized by Aquarius sign. Let's now say how other transits will affect us in March. So from March 11th to the 19th, the Sun, which will be in Pisces, makes also very good aspects to planets in Capricorn. So the Sun also, not only the Moon. Sorry about this. So each of those aspects from Pisces to Capricorn awakens in humans the feeling, new feelings, especially those that are part, especially those feelings where people feel that they are part of something great that is being created on this planet, and which perhaps helps one to believe that all turbulent transformations, whether political, economical, or otherwise, make sense because they lead us towards a more human world. And many will also want to contribute to the creation of this new world through some of their social engagement. You most probably know that combination of Pisces and Capricorn often brings some humanitarian actions or some sort of human social engagement. I cannot but mention a virus that is spreading across the planet, as they say. Maybe that's true, maybe not. So I will make my comments on this. Pharmaceutical companies are impermissibly, in English, impermissibly powerful nowadays, which is downside to Neptune's transit through Pisces. I have a special video about Neptune in Pisces, so if you can wish, you can watch the video. So those companies actually in many ways create the reality because they need to sell their products, as we know. This is one thing of this, that is one thing, and it can be, the virus can be explained through this, but the virus has so many levels of understanding, and we can explain it in so many different ways. It has really very big meaning. So this is only one, these companies, okay? The second thing, let's say, is this, that there is a hybrid war happening against humanity, and this war has been going on in previous years, and it was especially visible and strong in the time when Uranus and Pluto were making square. It was a few years ago. And actually that never finished. We are in the same process, more or less. Part of that war is the manipulation of the human mind. And this manipulation is also served in a form. We make the problem and then we create the solution for you. And then people, oh yeah, there is a problem. So, oh yeah, they offer the solution. And then everybody is jumping into that solution and they do not even think why the problem was created. I did not invent this. This is something that many people know about and many people speak about that. That's really nothing new for us. But there is also further level of explanation of this phenomenon, is that the virus is actually one part of collective self-destruction program. I mentioned this in some of my videos, and for example in my video Plutocracy, if you wish you can see that video. So many are saying now that we live in some sort of eschatological time, and perhaps they're right. There are symbols of that. But I would like to draw attention here to the positive side and positive processes of self-destruction. So if there is a self-destructive program going on, why we do not use its energy for something useful? How would you would say? Well, for example, I suggest that we all practice autophagy. Autophagy is regularly performed by human body, as it is proven by Japanese scientist Yoshinori Oshumi, who even received Nobel Prize for this discovery. So look at autophagy on the internet and you will see that this is the process in which dead cells are removed and thus man regenerates after 15 hours of fasting. So the key thing is fasting. We should fast more than 15 hours continuously, and then our body will spontaneously go through the process of self-destruction, which will actually regenerate us. So perhaps the solution for all of us is this destructive or self-destructive times is to fast, to practice autophagy, and to regenerate, and also to get rid of the waste which is within us. That's why it is also outside of us. And that's how we would satisfy the symbolism of self-destructiveness that is present in the world. We can use it in a positive way. For example, this is only one suggestion. What is here very interesting also, it is that we function on frequencies. And any virus must have his own frequency. So if we understand on which frequency is this virus, it will be very easy to remove the virus as any other disease, Just the question is, do people want and know how to do this? So the aspects we see in March suggest that if the consciousness and feelings of people or the collective change, the virus will disappear. As we have Sun in Pisces with very good aspects, I think that everyone can be healed. Everyone can be healthy, to say. The question is what will really happen, but no reason to be ill. We will see. So, however, this month is also very important because Pluto and Jupiter, that's what we said, make conjunction. And this conjunction is happening for the first time with those planets in Capricorn. And it's happening, we can say, even behind Saturn's back. Because at the moment when Saturn enters Aquarius, immediately after that, Jupiter makes conjunction with Pluto. Jupiter and Pluto combination is one of those combinations known as Phoenix. So this combination brings hope that a new life will be born from the big crisis, like a mythological bird emerges from its ashes. Further, this conjunction means unlimited desire for wealth and money. And it also signifies, on the other side, these are two main meanings, so also signifies the deepest psycho-emotional transformations that occur after the enlightenment. Of course, it will most affect Capricorns, but also Sagittarius and Scorpio people, and then also Crabs, Virgos, Pisces, and Taurus, especially if those signs have planets on the last degrees of their signs. How it will affect each of them financially, to resources, or to emotional, psychological transformations, it is very hard to say because it depends on that how one is dealing with in his life, with his energies, but we said what the symbolism is. I would like to make a special video about conjunction Jupiter and Pluto, so we'll see. If I have time, I'll do it. So March can be potentially interesting for finances because it can bring unexpectedly great financial success to many, not only because of the conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter, but also because of the very fruitful aspects of Venus. Namely, Venus will be in Taurus in March, where it feels especially good. It is there in its domicile, So the best place for Venus is Taurus. And also Venus there will make conjunction with Uranus. And Venus has special relation with Uranus also in mythology. That will happen on the March 8th. So many come with the unexpected success in the material realm, which will be even more stressed later on March 28th, when Venus, it will be still in Taurus, will trigger Jupiter and Pluto. So these are really particularly useful aspects, which will have a lot of impact on Taurus, Libras, and Capricorns, but to a great extent will influence every other sign also. However, not only Venus is strong in March, that is the planet, female planet that deals with relationships, attraction, material and sensual pleasures and so, but also Mars is very strong in March. Mars is unusually strongly positioned, and even on the March 23rd, it makes conjunction with Pluto. This aspect is potentially even dangerous, and it symbolizes the struggle for power that can be manifested through great conflicts. News reports that NATO is conducting the largest military exercises across Northern Europe, and they are very near the Russian border. Actually, they're all around Russian border. And many are wondering, will the fight start? Hope not. I don't think so. This seems like a preparation. We actually expect even bigger crisis in the autumn when Mars will make square with Pluto, which could be really direct conflict. However, let's hope that all this will be overcome and that reason and humanism will triumph, and that all of those conflicts will be overcome for many years and centuries to come. In the personal lives of individuals, this Mars is best when a person consciously uses it to make some new order or to control somebody or something. Mars will also affect Aries, Scorpios and Capricorns, the most them, and will have a particularly great power around people who have some Martian professions, let's say sportists or people who are in the army or who are in engineering or things like that. This aspect also greatly enchants the sexual energy, but also helps people to consciously channel this energy. However, on the March 31st, Mars passes from Capricorn to Aquarius also, and there meets with Saturn. And everyone who deals with astrology knows that this is a very cruel aspect, but still it is good enough because it is happening in Aquarius sign. And this conjunction in Aquarius can lead collective and individuals also to fight against the existing social order in Aquarius, yes. And this aspect also can show that new visions for the future are necessary. Also from March 10, Mercury is direct, so help everyone to feel more comfortable about buying and selling products, dealing with people, communicating, making contracts, and so on. And at the end, let me say shortly something what each zodiac sign can expect this month. So March is very important to Aries. We said that it is because of the transit of Mars, which gives them great determination. Then Taurus will benefit from Venus, because Venus is in their sign. So they could not wish anything better to happen. They feel attractive, they enjoy the food, the beauty around them, and everything that life has to offer. March is interesting for Gemini people in that sense that there can be some career changes. It is possible that they will return to old contracts and old agreements. Crabs this month have some major shifts in their life that come from their opposite sign, so through partners. But later on, maybe will be very clear that crabs themselves, for the long time, wanted actually to perform this concrete change. This month, Leo people have many secrets and they are experiencing a lot of new things in their intimate life and they're hiding their feelings. Virgos maybe can come in contact with new inspirational people. Libras, thanks to the transits of Venus, experience unexpectedly good changes in the money area and relationships. Scorpios, because of the significant transit of Pluto and Mars, are experiencing something truly special that can change their lives for a long time and that captures the realm of finances and intimate life. Sagittarius also have a particularly rich month that they should use to make some decisive changes, especially if they are socially engaged or if they're doing research or they're involved in finances. Then many Capricorns, of course, feel fantastic in March because they feel and they know that this is the end of harsh experiences and that some new indicators of a completely new life are already there. They feel them. So Aquarius people with the entry of Saturn in their sign will slowly begin to lay foundations for their future 30 years development, especially in their professional life. But March is really not the best month for them. They still don't feel enough comfortable. It will be better later on in April when Mars will be in their sign. And Pisces are the happiest sign in March because they celebrate their birthdays and because they are influenced by very happy aspects that bring them new optimism and even the new belief that anything is possible. And that's all for now. So if you wish, you can order personal consultations with me based on astropsychology and spiritual astrology. This is what I'm doing. And also you can order Thetahealing consultations with me or Feng Shui analysis. Some sort of readings I also record and I send in audio form, so maybe you wish to order something like that. And some of those audio recordings are about the most important life transits, for example, or one recording is what is the meaning of my life. And I do this second reading based on old Indian techniques. Further, I offer online astrology course for beginners. The name is The Basics of Tropical Astrology Level 1, so if you wish, you can buy that. Unfortunately, I don't have that many things in English as I have in other languages, but hopefully I will have in the future. So all contacts and videos that I recommend to you are under this video on YouTube. And if you like this video, like it, please subscribe to my channel, forward the video, and thank you very much for that. Until next time, I wish you good luck.